my best behavior here. What I'm going to do is walk through a very short conversation about the arbitrage. I focus it on college and retirement planning, but a lot of it is for the real estate investor as well. I think some of you will agree with me that what's a real estate investor's number one challenge? Anybody want to put it? What's a real estate investor's number one challenge?
Finding deals.
Finding deals. What's another one?
Cash flow.
Cash. Well, I want to talk about how to use an arbitrage to create an unlimited cash resource, regardless of the type of investor that you are. But I'm going to do it from a college and retirement fund perspective. If you have a question, you can stop me or raise your hand or put the signal flare up or anything that you want to choose. Okay. All right. So my objective when a family comes to me, unfortunately, most people come to me in terms of college funding with a bill in their hand. Does anybody want to tell me why? Why do the majority of people wait until they have the bill in their hand before they start planning for college?
I didn't save my money like I'm supposed to.
Because they understand like they should. Okay, well, they should be honest. There's a lot of honest people here. A lot of honest people here tonight. Okay, and a lot of that has to do with unrealistic expectations regarding what financial aid is and what it does. I have a lot of parents that come to me with the bill in their hand and they say, well, when I went to college, and they shared this story about when they went to college 25, 30 years ago and how things were back then. And I have to remind them, well, you know, this is 30 years later, this is 20 years later, things have changed, and the funding process has changed with it. So the whole idea of free money is really a facade. And unfortunately, a lot of people get caught up in this idea of free money and will put off planning because they're depending on free money from some other resource, be it the Trump money or the Obama money or whatever money that they're believing in that really doesn't exist at all. So I love talking about the arbitrage strategy because it is the world's greatest wealth accumulation and wealth preservation strategy on the planet. And I'm so convinced of that I have a promise of value that if you can show me a better way to fund college, retirement, and sometimes real estate, if you can show me a better way that includes the 8 ways to protect your money from loss, I will pay you $500 referral fee to educate you. On the flip side of that, once we go through this and you realize that you are completely wrong, and you can be wrong, can you be misinformed or can you be misinformation? Talk to me, audience. Of course you can, but you get to pay me $1,500. I think that's a good trade. Do you all think that's a good trade? You know, okay. All right. All right. So let's talk a little bit about, and we'll run through this because I've got less than 20 minutes to tell my story. This is actually my 32nd year in financial services, and I know when you look at me, you're probably thinking, you know, what I'm often told, you're probably thinking, that guy really looks young. He's a really young looking fellow. He doesn't even have much gray hair. I just got a haircut, so they cut it all out, but next week you'll be able to see the gray hair. Anyway, I'm a certified college funding specialist. I have spoken for the Detroit Free Press a couple of times. They asked me to do some workshops with them. 950 AM radio said that I was Michigan's #1 college planner. So if you have a school or a parent group or organization that's looking for a speaker, I would love an opportunity to share how I might be able to help in that regard. Even on the real estate side. The Better Business Bureau, I've spoken for them. How many of you know who Murray Feldman is from Fox 2 News? Anybody? Sure. I've done some work with him. State of Michigan, I've done a ton of seminars for the state of Michigan. Southfield Schools actually hired me a couple of years back, and the scholarships went up by $2 million. Then we have the Money Smart Week, which is facilitated by the Federal Reserve Bank. I was a speaker for them multiple times. And the Michigan Association of CPAs, I've done some work with them as well. So my resume is very full, and I'm one of the most trusted financial professionals in this category that has a specialty in the field that I have. And once again, if you have a question, we can't answer. Okay, so let's get into this. So what is an arbitrage? An arbitrage, from my definition, is a simultaneous use of money. It is also a reason why I say that there is no such thing as a debt problem. I'll say it again. There is no such thing as a debt problem. I'm going to prove it. When you look at an arbitrage, what happens is that a depositor puts money into a savings or checking account. Anybody doing that? Put money in a savings checking account? Okay. All right. Then the bank uses those deposits to make a profit through loans. Anybody got any loans out there? Yeah, credit cards, student loans, cards, etc. The bank is then paid high interest by the payer of the debt. Oh Lord. And then the bank pays a very small profit back to the account holder in the form of interest. How much interest are you guys getting on your savings and checks? What, 15%? 20%? How much you getting? Anybody? Point something? Okay. How much interest are you paying on your credit cards?
Too much.
Who's paying zero? See, you gotta get a high price. He's cheating. He's cheating. He's cheating the system.
Yeah.
Okay, but some people are paying as high as 30% on credit cards. Now, I don't want you to raise your hand and on that, but some people are paying as much as 29.99, which is really 30% on their credit cards. That is a beautiful arbitrage for the bank. Why? Because the bank is charging you 30%, and then they're giving you back less than 1%. That profit arbitrage is how banks make their money. It is one of the oldest methods of making money in human history. And this strategy is a strategy that I use to teach real estate investors, professionals, and parents how to pay for college. And what they're really doing is funding their retirement. Let me say it again. I use the arbitrage strategy to teach real estate investors and other professionals how to fund college. And what they're really doing is building their retirement with the same process. Okay, so what is a government arbitrage? How many of you are familiar with 401k? Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay. How about IRAs? Those are beautiful accounts, right? 401ks, TSPs. Anybody got a TSP? Anybody has a deferred comp? Okay. When are those plans taxed? When you pull money out. Okay. Now, do you get a tax deduction for putting money in?
No.
Do you get? Okay. Let me rephrase the question. Do you get a tax deduction for contributing to a qualified plan? So if you're putting money into a 401k, do you get a tax deduction for that? Do you get a deduction in your gross income? Yes, you do.
Yeah.
It's okay, yeah, you do. But in turn, what does the government do? Do you pay higher taxes or fewer taxes in the future? You pay higher.
Right.
That's an arbitrage for the government. So the government gives you a small tax write-off today in exchange for a large tax in the future.